Hey everybody, just want to give a update video on the Chevelle. Haven't really done much to it in the last few months. I did go ahead and add the rocker molding, the Super Sport rocker molding and everything, but the point of this video is to show what I recently did last week. I originally, when I put this car together, had a factory truck style intake on there. It was a 2002 Silverado LM7 5.3 intake that I had smoothed, and I never really was happy with the appearance of it. So I picked up one of these. This is one of those fabricated aluminum / sheet metal intakes and everything. It was actually on Amazon. It was $260 shipped to the door with the fuel rails and the braided lines and all that stuff, all the fittings. This car, like I said, it's out of a 2002 Tahoe. So I retained all of the truck accessories and everything, the high mount alternator and all that stuff. It's got the classic auto air compressor on the passenger side, high mount. But I just wanted to illustrate what all it took to get this to fit, because I know that there's some issues with the supplied fuel fittings, specifically these 90-degree elbows right here that come with the fuel rails for these aftermarket manifolds. And normally what happens is, you can see how this extends so far out from the front of the fuel rail. I mean, you're talking a good 2.5 to 3 inches right there. And what happens is it hits the back of the alternator on anything with truck accessories. So what I did was, I found, since these are all just standard 6AN fittings right here, and the fitting that screws into the fuel rail is an 8AN ORB. It's an O-ring fitting. So I started looking around and everything, and I found some AN fittings that, this is a really short 90 right here. And as you can see, I've got probably about a 1/2 inch clearance from the back of the alternator case to the front of this 90-degree elbow on the front of the fuel rail. Underneath that, I mean, these are swivel fittings. You can move them. So I kept the original, it's hard to see, I kept the supplied 90-degree 6AN fuel fitting that came with the intake. But other than that, the original intake manifold and fuel rail from the 2002 obviously had a supply line and a return line. In order to run this, you can either run an external adjustable fuel pressure regulator, or do what I did and pick up a factory fuel filter / regulator assembly for like a C5 Corvette, say 2002 range. And what that does, it's got a built-in regulator, and it regulates the fuel pressure to a constant 58 or so pounds of fuel pressure. So that's what I did. I was able to eliminate my return line. The return line, I've got my fuel filter mounted back by the tank, so I was able to eliminate one entire length of 5/16 fuel line, which was being utilized as the return on the LM7 intake manifold. The intake itself, as far as the fuel line, I used the factory style quick disconnect fitting right there. And I picked up a 6AN to 3/8 male barb quick disconnect fuel fitting. Same thing, 8AN ORB on this side that screws into the rail, and then 6AN, coming out the back. And it works perfect. This throttle cable bracket right here, I picked up a steel braided throttle cable. I still need to change that out because that's still I don't like it laying over the top of the intake like that. This throttle cable bracket is actually billet aluminum, and I picked it up off of Amazon for 20 bucks. And I mean, it's sturdy, it's completely adjustable, mounts to the side, where the fuel rail mounts, utilizing the stock LM7 5.3 fuel injectors. And the thing, went together perfect. And, there's a lot of talk online of these sheet metal intakes, killing performance and killing throttle response and this and that. And so far, I haven't experienced any of that. I've been driving this thing for about a week now since I got it done. Throttle response the same as it was. You nail it from a dead punch, get it up on the converter and hit it. Still boils the tires. They're dyno proven compared to a stock truck intake, to even on a stock motor to lose 10 or 20 horsepower. But cosmetically, you know, it's worth more to me cosmetically than it is performance wise, because like I said, this isn't a race car. It's a cruiser. It's a, you know, weekend, take it to car shows, run it around town. I drive it to work once in a while. It gets, you know, 22 miles per gallon, 23 miles per gallon, 40-degree air conditioning. So, you know, to me, it was worth losing, you know, if it did the 10, 20 horsepower, whatever, by putting this intake on here just for the looks alone. But yeah, everything else, I'm using the stock truck throttle body, and these intake manifolds come machined for the newer 4-bolt style throttle body. So for like $13, I picked up this 3-bolt to 4-bolt adapter plate with the IAC channel in it, also Amazon. And like I said, there's not a lot of money into this, obviously, but you know, I've been eyeing them for a long time, and I figured, you know, I'll give it a shot. If it doesn't work, if it doesn't fit, I'll just return it. You know, it's Amazon. You could put a pile of rocks in the box and they'll take it back and give you a refund. But you know, as far as the fuel filter, if anybody's wondering, I've read a lot of things about the like the parts store fuel filters, you know, like say AutoZone, Duralast, or O'Reilly's, whatever they use, Master Pro or something like that, not correctly regulating the fuel pressure. I've read stories of people, you know, turn the key on and the fuel pressure shoots to 70, 80 pounds of fuel pressure, you know, blows out the O-rings on the fuel rails and what have you. But I went with a Wix filter. It was about $48, the filter regulator assembly. The part number is 33737. It's got, you know, 3/8 in, 3/8 out, and a 5/16 return line. So it's all factory quick disconnect style fittings and everything. It's basically, you know, kind of a steel band clamp, one bolt bolted to the frame. And, you know, like I said, it works perfect. You know, so like I said, I just wanted to go over because there's a lot of, you know, I know these intakes, regardless of the performance capabilities or losses, they're pretty popular, you know. So I figured I would just touch on this right here, as far, you know, just put out all these fitment issues right off the bat. You know, again, this is the only thing I really had to address, was this fuel fitting. And again, like I said, it was a 6AN male to a 8AN ORB fitting, screwed right in the rail, and everything is, you know, everything fits perfect. So I mean, other than that, I did go and obviously you've got 4 vacuum ports underneath, and then one on the back. You've got the one fitting on the back. It's 3/8, not 3/8, 1/4 inch NPT, and I put a 3/8 90-degree elbow on there for my brake booster, and it also has a port for the map sensor. The port for the map sensor is machined for an LS3 style map sensor, and honestly, what I did, I just took the factory 5.3 map sensor, and since the difference in diameter was minimal, I actually just took a couple sleeves of heat shrink, put it over it, heated it up, and the thing fits perfect. It's got a retaining screw on the back, you know, but other than that, like I said, it's you know, this is obviously a drive-by cable setup, and you know, the fit and finish, and surprisingly enough, the welds, you know, the manifold wasn't warped. You could lay it on the heads with no gaskets. It doesn't rock back and forth. The bolts were a little questionable that they were supplied with, and I went and, you know, got some decent Allen head, you know, kind of cap screws and you know, to fasten the manifold and everything. But yeah, torqued it down 89 inch-pounds. You know, the thing runs perfect. So I just want to, you know, let everybody know about the quality and the fitment and everything, and, you know, specifically addressing that fuel rail issue with that fuel fitting when using truck accessories. So if anybody's got any questions or anything, feel free to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.